one of them is, I think the other one's Liechtenstein, maybe, but I'm not sure. So Liechtenstein or one of those. But this one, Uzbekistan, double landlocked. It's a landlocked country, and all the countries around it are also landlocked. Look at that. Now that's a life-changing bit of information, isn't it? No, not really, but it's really remote. It's right in the centre of Asia. Incredibly hot summers, incredibly cold winters. So that's a bit of the nature of the country. Let's see now. Yeah, and it's got some astonishing history. It's on the Silk Road, and this is Samarkand at night time. I just love this place. Beautiful architecture, very Iranian kind of feel there for the architecture. That's the centre of town, and it draws lots of people there, as you can tell. Very nice, pleasant architecture. In the Central Asia, population about 36 million, as I've said, former Soviet Socialist Republic. But since 1991, it's become, 91, it's been independent, like a lot of those countries when the Soviet Union fell apart. 96% Muslim and 0.19% evangelical, so very small. But the evangelical church has really only existed for a couple of generations, because it was only a generation or two ago that the first believers in that country really came to be. So although it's a very low base, God is beginning a work there at the moment. So it's one to watch from that point of view. And then there's a lot of pressure on Christians, as you often get. And it comes from two sources, which I've represented here. The first is from Islam itself. Islamic teaching is that you're not allowed to leave the faith. It's just basic to Islam. That's technically under Sharia law. Leaving the faith is you're under the death penalty, technically. Now, not all Muslims will want to implement that, but they put a lot of pressure on people to stay within the faith. And that we heard people who, for example, one girl, she was imprisoned by her own family for a year, putting pressure on her to renounce her faith in Jesus, to go back to the Islamic community. That's a real pressure, isn't it? And others suffered beatings and so on. So there's real pressure. And then the other pressure comes from the authorities themselves. And I've got that in the top left-hand corner. That's the badge of I think it's called the SNB now. It's the successor organization to the KGB. And many of us have heard of the KGB, the feared secret police of the Soviet Union. But they trained up a lot of these people. And yes, a lot of the same sorts of people and techniques and styles of doing things have continued to this day in these very authoritarian regimes. Uzbekistan is not as close as it once was. It's not as authoritarian as it was. It has got better.